I'm here to help with 2-2 homework for the week of November 6th, 2017. I am starting with problem number 2, and as you can see, I will work through problem number 2 and problem number 4. They both say to write a decimal number for each word name. Now, a decimal number is also going to be the standard form for the word form that we are seeing right here. The 200, 10,000, 50, and 19 hundredths is the word form. And then 7 thousandths is the word form. We are going to put these in decimal number form or standard form. As you can see down below, I have the decimal place value chart, just in case you need a little bit of a reminder what the place values are to the right of the decimal and to the left of the decimal. Anytime we see the word and, I have that circled in bright red because I'm going to pick out some keywords and ideas here in each of these number words. Anytime we see that and in a number word, that means that we are going to put a decimal point right in that place. So I know that the 19 hundredths will be to the right of the decimal right here, and that anything before the decimal on the left will go into these values over here. So we'll get started. I see that we have a comma right here. I see that we have the word and right here. And then I'm also looking for any word that has a THS at the end. As you notice when we come down to the chart, the decimal place value chart, our words to the right of the decimal end in THS. So we have tenths, hundredths, and thousandths. That gives us a key that these words will be to the right of the decimal. I also want the students to understand that whatever word we say last is the place value position that we are going to end in. So we're not going to end in the thousandths. We are going to be ending in the hundredths on this first one. So our last value should go right into this place value, which is 2 places to the right of the decimal. Let's get started. 210,000. I know that I see the word 210. So I will first write 210. And since I see the word thousand with a comma, that means that I need a comma right there. Then I see the number 50. Well, a lot of students will just want to add a 50 right here. But as you notice, I only have 2 place values filled in right there, whereas after my comma of the thousands place right here, there should be a comma right there. I have 1, 2, 3 more place values that I need to fill in. In order to make this say 50, I would want to put a 0 in front of it. That will not change my number 50. However, if a student wants to put a 0 right here, we no longer have 50. We have 500. That would be incorrect because I'm looking up at this word and it says 50. So I need to erase that, go back and put my 0 in to hold my hundreds position because I do not have any value in the hundreds. This 0 is called a significant 0 because it is holding that place value. If I did not have it there, my digits would not be in the correct place value. So there's my significant 0 once again. I'm going to move this over just a little bit so that I have my comma lined up right here. And I'm also going to see that I have 210,000, 50. And when I see this word and, that tells me to put in a decimal. 210,000, 50, and now I need to make 19 hundredths. Well, I know a 19 is a 1 before a 9, and I need to make sure that I did put the 19 in the hundredths value, not in the thousandths. Right here, this would be 19 thousandths because it ends in the 1, 2, third position after the decimal, 1, 2, 3. So that's showing me 19 thousandths. I do not want that, so I'm going to delete that 0. And right now, I have 19, and I'm going to say the place value that it's in the second one over, 1, 2. So 19 hundredths. That is the correct way of writing 210,050 and 19 hundredths in either decimal number or what we like to call in class standard form. Let's move on, and I need to move this back up here because as you notice, this looks like a small number and it will become a very small number. I do not have the word and I do not have a keyword and or a comma at all in this one. It just simply says 7 thousandths. However, you notice that I did mark the THS, which means my number is going to be to the right of the decimal. So I am going to enter a decimal right away. Change my font real quick so you can see it a little bit better. I can put a 0 in my ones value because I know I do not have any ones or any number greater than 1 to the left of my decimal point. So this is called an insignificant 0. I can put that in, and it's not really holding a place value. I can get rid of it and just do a decimal and write the number. Either way, it'll be the same. But I like to put in my insignificant 0 before I put a decimal point because it just reminds me that I have nothing that is 1 or greater to the left of the decimal. Now it says 7 thousandths. A lot of students will want to just put in a 7 there. But the problem with that is that this is telling me that I only have 1 place value to the right of the decimal filled in. If I go down to my chart, that is telling me that I am in the tenths place value. Well, right up here, it doesn't say tenths. It actually says thousandths. So I'm going to go down here and count how many place values after my decimal. So there's 1, 2, 3. I need to make sure I have 3 place values filled in. Let's go take a look. If I put my zeros in here, I'm going to read this number. It is now going to be 700 thousandths. That's not what this says. This does not say 700 thousandths. It says only 7 thousandths. So I need to back up. I need to think about this again. And I know down here that I had 1, 2, 3 place values. So I'm going to make sure that I have 1, 2, and the 7 is going to be in the third place value. So that looks a lot better. That would read as, while we have some significant zeros holding place values here, as just 7 thousandths because it is in the thousandths position. That is how you write the number 7 thousandths in standard form, also known as decimal form. Those are your answers for problems number 2 and 4 on the math homework for this week.